So it's unfortunate for these people because as much as my brain is so easily manipulated in different fashion and these ways, so they can try to make me find logic and rationality in the most illogical things. Sometimes it's just like the faces of some of the people, even just the way they look alone, just is an indication of how fraudulent it could be. You see this person's face, right? I talked about it yesterday. This was a coworker of mine. My employer who put me in this program is the reason why I'm here. It's my initial employer. Now I'm here, and this is the things are gonna happen to me the way it happens to other target individual. Now you see this guy. Let's just say that this filter, this distortion, actually makes him look better than what he looks like. This guy was very much a interesting looking person, and I don't mean it in a good way. And he was full of ass. I remember when I was before knowing what exactly I was in was happening to me. I would see these people, my coworkers, just gaslighting me and acting in certain ways. Yesterday, I talked about how they're like, I don't know where this guy comes in. He goes and goes talk to somebody next to me, and next to him, and we're all in the cubicles. And he says something about, I don't know about this pedophilia thing, or I don't know about this pedophilia thing, something like that. He says something like that, right? And at the time, I was like, what is he talking about? Like, I knew they were doing something, but I was confused. Like, what's going on here? Like, and try to talk about something. I was like, are they slandering me? Like, I knew they were doing things, and I knew I was something was happening to me, not happening to me, but they were doing something to me. I don't know if they were whether if they were setting me up or whatever. I knew something was happening, but when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, are they gonna start saying things like that? Right? That's what I thought. And at one time, I remember his boss, right, which is my boss. I remember her. Let's just call her Monica, right? Monica is a very beautiful woman, but she was also involved in this. She was my manager's manager. At least at the time, I thought she was. And so, I remember her bringing her children, right? And I hated that time because it's like, oh, I'm going to have to pretend like I care, and I'm going to have to force myself to have conversation with people that I detest. I don't like them. Right? But I'm going to have to be friendly, try to pretend I care about whatever's going on with their life and their kids' life. But thankfully, they didn't come to my cubicle. But I could hear her and her child or children talking. And I remember the little girl started to learn how to do the alphabet. She was like, A, B, C. Very endearing, right? I was like, oh, it's very endearing. Whatever, but I hope they don't come by my cubicle and I'm going to have to force myself to have this interaction that I don't want to have. Now, this guy comes and, he comes to because he said next to me, he's like, hey, I was like, oh, what I like about Monica, I love her children. And I look at him, it's like, okay. It's like, whatever, yeah, okay, good for you. I'm thinking he's just trying to kiss her ass, right? Because that's the boss. And now what they try to say is like, no, it's just like they track the way you're hearing her, the kid saying A, B, C, D, and they saw that you felt something, and now they're putting this stimulation to make me experience right now. Right now, they can go back in memories and make you experience things that you didn't experience. So now they're making me experience these nasty stimulations, right? Changing from the real reality of like, oh, it's endearing, oh, that's cute, yeah, A, B, C. Now there's no more cute things or adorable things. It turns into nasty pedophilia things, stimulation, sexually things. It's disgusting. And they're like, now you see this guy's face. Now he was analyzing. Now look at this person, right? I gotta be honest with these people. They want to live a delusional world. Look at this person. You can see that obviously this guy is not somebody that you will be like, oh yeah, you are analyzing me. No. He was a coworker who worked in this place where we sell industrial products, and that's what he did. He was not here learning about the patterns of a human like that. No. But these people want me to start imagining this fantasy, like, no, this is what they like. They start analyzing these people that sell industrial product and try to and notice that this is the way you react when you hear children and when yes, they do the pedophilia type of torture, and now they try to make me subscribe to this. What happens is once you put in this program, they start with the slandering process, right? They create slanders around you and who you are, right? And then they try to come up with ways to make you subscribe to it's you. Before the V2K came, before they started doing the V2K, they were like, I could hear people calling me things that was disgusting. But that's what they do. And those memories are now being manipulated to get different stimulation. Matter of fact, the reality is, if they were, let's just say, if there's a 12% of analyzing anything, you would know that actually perhaps Monica would be something that maybe would be a pattern of some sort, right? But they're not in that business. They're in the business of fraudulency. They're in the business of creating things. So that's why you hear this person just slamming the door. I'm supposed to be terrified, but let me see. But as you hear this, right, this person slams the door to try to make you feel nervous, right? And that's the things. They try to create a state of fear because they want you to subscribe to this BS. Because the reality is, these people are actually working for pedophiles. And the thing is, they want you to accept this new reality of fantasy. And they want you to be gaslighted to accept these things. And when you don't feel anything, when you see them for what they are, it's like a frustration. Because like I said, if there was anything of assessing, it would take a 0.0005 second to figure out that perhaps where his stimulation might derive from might mostly be Monica, right? But now they try to change it, right? It's like, no, you see, when you heard the little girl say A, B, C, D, which is very endearing, right? Now try to create asexual stimulations. Because they can go back in memories and manipulate that. And they try to make me think, oh, but that's what this guy was saying. But this guy was a perp. Meaning that even though he was my coworker, he was also trying to create this false reality. He's part of this program. He was a perp who was a coworker of mine. Because I was a coworker of him, he had to do his job of being a perp. That was their job. You see this guy's face? You think this guy is like out here analyzing me for in a real way? This guy was looking at me and like pointing his finger and shooting me like pam, pam, pam. I'm like, okay. So you understand what these people are doing? These people are renowned to manipulate people in this pedophilia type of torture. And initially, they do the slanderous thing that's pedophilia-centric. So they slander you and said, you're a pedophile. When in reality, these people are working for pedophiles. And you hear this person, like in the hallway, you heard that slamming the door. Because I would say it's obvious that, it will not take much to know really where my interest would be. It will be very, 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 very easy. But their job is to erase reality and create this new version of reality, to the point of creating a stimulation in the memory. Because that's their job. That's what they do. And you heard somebody slam the door. I hope I captured that. To try to counter this reality. And then with me, knowing them, seeing them for what they are, it's like, oh, it's just because you're mad because I know Monica is the awkward part, right? Monica's not a real name. Yeah, Monica. Yeah, sounds familiar. I know. These people are delusional. To think that I'm going to subscribe to it because they slam a door. I know they work for pedophiles. That's your job. And you see this guy? His job was to also do his job. False reality, creating a slanderous level of some sort. I know. People pointing fingers and shooting at me. Bah, bah, bah. I was like, oh, trash. When in reality, he probably saw me thinking about Monica a lot of times. In different ways. But now they try to create a new version of this endearing moment of this kid saying the alphabet out loud, and them now try to create a sexual stimulations And now they're like, oh, that's why he's, I was like, no, he saw something else, and now he tried to create, he's trying to make it be something else. And they try to gaslight you to accept this new version. Do you think this person can make me subscribe to anything? To my target individual, these people are going to try their best to counter reality. Reality is what they try to raise, no matter what's going to happen to you. Because right now, somebody's just, and they use this childlike people always like, oh, they raped me. It's like, okay. Do you think this person who's analyzing me, this creepy looking man, they even try, because he used to have like pictures of his granddaughters and everything and grandkids. They try to now put in my memories, stimulation of that. And you hear the noise campaign that's supposed to make people subscribe to these false memories. It's super systematic and super obvious. But they're going to make the mistake. Because I understand what they do. They understand that I know that there's a system of trying to create a false reality. And that's their job. That's why I can go in the hallway, look at them, it's like, okay, and I'm speaking out loud in front of them. It's like, this is what they're doing. But they don't want to be seen because I'll be like, this is what they do. So to all my target individuals, stay strong. Because regardless of what falsified memory or how they want to gaslight you, and even using perps who are responsible for you being in this program, try to get you to subscribe. Look at this perp, they try to make me use him as somebody to that should be subscribing to whatever fantasy this creepy man was coming up with. Delusional. He's like, no, they knew. Yeah, these people that sell industrial products, delusional.